600 meters, continue straight.
The sat nav finished telling me to continue going straight. Hello everyone. So I just had a small incident in the hotel. We're on the 3rd floor, and it's really the 2nd floor because they count the ground floor as the 1st floor. There's only 2 flights of stairs, and I have this like 50-year-old slim guy, looks physically fit and strong and whatever, wearing his mask, European. And me and my daughter come to the lift with 3 big suitcases. She's got a big rucksack on her bag that's super heavy, and he's waiting at the lift. What do you think he does? Do you think he takes the stairs and lets us go? No. He waits for the lifts, get in, wants to be by himself.
Continue straight. Then, continue straight.
Apologies if the sat nav was speaking over me. Anyway, what a loser! What a loser!
Continue straight.
I'm going straight, woman. Leave me alone. She's going to talk again. She's talking to me more than my wife. Ema, don't get jealous, okay? Don't get jealous of her. What a loser. 7-year-old girl with a big rucksack on her bag can take 2 flights of stairs down. Is he a loser, Rena?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a complete and utter loser. And you can just tell which way he votes. You can tell he's pro mandates, vaccine passports and all of that nonsense and big government and exclude the unvaxxed. You can just tell by him being such a complete and utter loser. And you know what? I've had it with losers. I've never had patience for ignorance. Now, I'm not talking about, IQ. Okay? Everything is related. You don't go into McDonald's and get pissed off when the staff don't know the distance to the moon from California on the 3rd of August, 2019. Okay? You don't. But you do when you ask for a Big Mac without cheese and they give it to you with cheese, right? Because it's all relative. So I have an impatience for that. But now I feel like I've had my fill of it with losers. Losers walking around wearing masks out in the sun. What did we see this morning?
A kid with mask.
How old was the kid?
Like 1 year old.
1 year old. 2 parents. They're going to marry it. I mean, must be costing a fortune. 5-star hotel in Hua Hin peak season must be costing hundreds of dollars a night. And the little girl was maybe, 3 years old?
There was 2 girls.
It was 2 girls, yeah. To me, it's child abuse. Where do you draw the line on child abuse? For me, I draw the line at child abuse, right? Not pedophilia or whatever. I draw my line well before then, and this nappy on the face nonsense whilst outdoor with the UV by otherwise intelligent people makes them losers and stupid, and I don't have the patience for them, and I feel like telling them to their face why I should be respectful to enablers of evil, because that's what they are at the end of the day. It wouldn't happen if people weren't losers. My family are not losers. My kids will not be losers. Now, I've always taught them politeness. My grandmother, of all the things that she ever taught me, there was only one thing worth remembering. Not that we're here because of aliens. Not that her family lived
Keep left at the fork.
Lived in some mountainous region of Russia and lived 120 years. Not that on my wedding I'll get $50. She taught me that the only thing that's free in this world is politeness, so why not use it?
Keep left at the fork.
I swear that one lesson that she taught me is more valuable than nearly anything I learned at school.
Keep right at the fork.
Keep left, keep right. What fork? Do you see a fork?
No.
I see a knife. I see an arrow. It's as straight as it can
In
get.
600 meters. Continue straight.
A gentleman. What did he do?
So he sit in like a
Continue straight.
table and
Speak up, cannot hear you. There's people listening in San Paulo.
he sit in a
Louder.
long table, and then he saw us gonna sit, but we can't find a place to sit. So he said that here you can sit here, and he moved to a small table.
And
like
what
that.
does that make him? A
Gentleman.
gentleman. Look at my kids. You make me so proud. Okay? You make me really proud. We come up for breakfast. There's a guy sat on a table for 4. And instantly, he told us to come and sit at his table. And he moved to a table of 2. Gentlemen. Now, I'm torn between the lesson that my grandmother taught me that politeness is free. You know, but should you be polite to ignorant people, to losers? Even if they're nice. You know, if someone spits on your face with a smile, should you be polite back? These losers are enablers of evil. And they would have my kids vaccinated in spite of my parental choice. If it was up to them, they would deny me my choice because they disagree with my decision. And I know that for a fact. I don't need evidence. I don't need nothing from Science, National Science Magazine, okay? I know it as a fact because this type of mentality is a communist type of mentality. So I kind of feel like now teaching my children, don't be polite to losers. Tell them to their face, you're a loser. What are you going to do about it? Tell them to their face, the ignorant people. They walk around thinking they're so righteous, so up themselves, without realizing that they are the enablers of pure and utter evil, tyranny. Historically, whenever you look at it, it is the losers like that think they're so righteous that bring about tyranny and destruction. The guy got in the lift. I immediately said to my daughter, look what a loser that guy was. Right?
Yeah.
And I explained to you why. Because education, that's education in you know, how to think, to understand the rationale behind it. Because you can't go around calling people a loser simply because you disagree with them. They have to genuinely be a loser, and you have to be able to recognize the traits that make someone a degenerate. Just because they're polite and nice and well educated doesn't mean that they're not a degenerate. If they don't understand what freedom is, then they are on the side of evil. They are a degenerate. And if you're a degenerate watching my channel, I don't care if you're offended, because you offend me. So it works both ways. With these degenerates, you know, they can call you. I've got a family member that doesn't speak to me anymore. It was at the time of the 2016 election in America. He's freaking English. What does he care? Calling people Nazis who support this candidate. And I liked what the candidate had to say because I'm a bit of a nationalist. I believe in language, borders, and law. A country isn't a country without even one of those 3 things, in my opinion. You're welcome to disagree. But don't call me a Nazi. So I say to him, yeah, you're including me in that. He says, yes. So I called him a twat or something along those lines. How dare you speak to me like that? I am terribly sorry, but I cannot have anything to do with aggressive people like you. And he unfriended me. What a degenerate loser! Calls me a Nazi and other things. I call him a twat, a dickhead or whatever. And he suddenly gets on his high horse. And these people have a screw loose. Let me tell you about this guy. His dad dumped him for another, him when he was a little kid, him and his daughter, got with another woman, had a baby with... You're still there? I think the phone understands I'm getting a bit wound up. Anyway, his dad had nothing to do with him, not really. He grew up without his dad. A letter here and there. Okay, guess angry with his dad, hates his dad, recognizes his dad isn't a parent, is a loser. Okay, I happen to like his dad, but yeah, you don't do that. Guess what he's done as an adult? Does even worse. Leaves England with 2 kids for another woman in Australia. A letter here and there. You know what? What I've learned from my parents and my grandparents, my father told me, a wise man, a clever man learns from his mistakes, a wiser man learns from other people's mistakes. And again, thank you very much, Dad. That's one of the most valuable lessons you've ever taught me. As such, I learn from my parents' successes and failures as parents. And all I want to do in my life is to raise my family better than I was raised. And if I can do that, then I was successful. Part of that is how I educate and morally educate, raise my children in how to think. And hopefully they will pass that on when they are parents. And hopefully they will try and raise their family better than I was able to raise them. In which case their lives was a success and my life was definitely a success, and I live on through them. My grandfather taught me some lessons which stayed with me, and I'm telling you, from when I was 5-6 years old, he taught me a few lessons that stayed with me forever. And those are lessons that probably his granddad taught him. I have no idea who his granddad was. Not the name, not how he looked. All I know is he lived in Baghdad and had a rope making factory. That's all I know. But he lives on in me and in my kids, because those lessons taught, I teach my kids. The pyramids exist, right? We all know that they exist. Do we know how they were made? No. Why? Because the knowledge wasn't passed down. So part of parenting isn't to allow the school to educate your children. They should just educate mathematics, language, history. Even history is objective nowadays. But morality comes from the house. And when parents I'm losing my abrogate. Let someone else be responsible for teaching that. They failed. Straight away. Failed. With the losers and crap all around. Nice, lovely losers all around. My kids are surrounded by them. I have to educate my kids really well so they recognize and they don't copy. So they don't admire and look up to these losers. Name me, who's your hero?
Dad.
No one from Marvel?
No, they're rubbish.
Sorry, Marvel fans. In their opinion, it's true. Rubbish. What else? What about singers? You like Katy Perry? You like, what about politicians? What about Bollocks Johnson? Who came up with Bollocks Johnson?
Me.
Show your face.
Me.
I call him Boris the Dick, and he calls him Bollocks Johnson. You're correct. Yours is better than mine. Are any governments good?
No.
Nope.
I can't hear you.
No.
Nope.
What are all governments?
They're bad.
I can't hear you.
They're
Bad.
And the question is what?
How bad?
Correct. So the Thai government and the English government and the American government and the German government and especially the EU government, because it is, and the Chinese, yeah? The question is, how bad, right? Losers, wear your masks.